I really didn't know what I was getting into, to be completely honest. I kind of didn't want to. I didn't want to like have this big perspective on everything. I just wanted to come in here with an open mind, and I think that helped out so much. And I think if I would have, delved into stuff a little bit too deep, I wouldn't have had as much of a good time as I did. I'm over here interviewing a guy that's got a World Series ring on his finger. I'm in a Major League dugout. I'm working alongside, people, ESPN and stuff like that, ABC, down in Omaha. We're sitting right next to, the chairman of the league and stuff like that. We're gonna do really cool stuff. So it's an experience that I don't think you'll find anywhere else in the country.
Oh, this was unbelievable, man. I came into it super excited. I've been a baseball fan my whole life, and I spent the summer in the Northwoods League previously, and then I came over here to the studio, and it's everything I could have imagined. I've gotten to do some really cool things. I've learned so much, and it's just not on-air stuff. You have stories to do. You have a network television show that you have to get done. There's deadlines that you have to meet. All this happens at once, and it doesn't stop. And it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, you get to do some really cool things. Like I said, I just went to the College World Series. I went to Florida for a story. There's nothing like it. And at the end of the day, even though, maybe I don't want to do this, but I have to do it, at the end of the day, it's like what I just did, and it's long days and it's tiring, but at the end of the day, it's like what I just did was the coolest thing ever, and there is nothing like it.
I came into this job not really knowing much. This was kind of my first experience in the real world of sports media, and it was interesting. I didn't have the best first day. I think I wanted to quit in the first day on the job because I thought it was going to be overwhelming. I wasn't going to be able to have as much free time as I want because I'm a pretty independent person.
Like, you have to be very committed, and it's so worth it. Like, it is a fun time. You learn so much more in 3 months than you probably would in like 3 school years, depending on where you go to school. For me personally, like, I learned more here about media and broadcasting than I ever would in my college. It helped me figure out a lot of what I want to do afterwards. And I would have only found that out if I would have done the summer I did and was in the ins and outs and a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and trying out so many different things. Like, I tried out sidelining, I tried out hosting, I filmed stories and stuff like that. I worked with players and parents and all of that, and some of the front office staff in the leagues. So I think that I had to have those interactions and try out a bunch of things to figure out what I wanted to do before I graduated.
I remember the first story that we ever shot this year was when we went to Dick Raditz's house, the Northwoods League office, and there was a specific soundbite that wasn't like much that he said, but it was kind of interesting to look at it now and realize how true it was. And he talked about the development of the league, and like, this is a developmental league. And he talked about the players, the umpires, but he's listing them off. He goes, the players, the umpires, and he looks at the camera at me, Kyle, and everyone else behind there saying, you guys. And it's kind of interesting because, you see like the people that have come out here, Pete Alonso, Ben Zobrist, Chris Sale, Max Scherzer, all those guys. But just in our own field, we can do the exact same thing. We can be the guys that, they'll look on later in life and be like, whoa, and guess where you got to start? In the Northwoods League. So it's stuff like that you get to see, and it's pretty cool to just see our own skills develop over the summer.
I have a lot of experience under my belt now, especially, it's kind of weird because I didn't come in knowing barely how to put a battery into a camera. Thanks, Joe. But now I can walk away saying I know how to work a camera, a tripod, mics and all that, and even directing and stuff like that, like, pretty efficiently. And in the end, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about what I want to be in the future in my job and how I want to be. I took away a lot of really good qualities, and yeah, it was a good experience. And if anyone's looking to come into this job, just know that it's very time consuming. You have to want to be here, and if you don't, then this is not the place for you, because kind of like, I don't know, you need to be invested in this, and if you're not, then there's no point in doing this.
I would just say that I'm so as we wind down this summer, looking back, it's like it was just yesterday that we were moving in here, getting to know the work and getting to know different things, but then all of a sudden, the summer goes like a blink of an eye. And it's a lot of work, but it's rewarding work. And, I'm just very thankful for my time here, and I know in my future endeavors that I will always come back and know where I started, and it was the Northwoods League, and it helped me because it's going to help anybody else that's in this chair that I was this summer and has been. It's going to help you succeed, and it's going to put you that much further along than the next guy.
It's a hard question. I've gotten to do a lot of cool stuff. Although, filming the pregame show is a lot of fun. Going to All-Star Game was fun. The showcase was fun. Kyle and I went to Omaha, the College World Series. That was pretty cool. Got to interview Duffy Dyer, a guy that won a World Series. Got to go into a Major League dugout. It's hard to pick just one thing, but it's always like one thing will happen, and then in a week or two, I'm already looking forward to the next thing that's coming for us. So it's not like I'm had fun at the beginning of the year and then just kind of a little slump. It's every single week or 2 weeks or something like that. I'm looking forward to something new and something fun to go do.
It comes down to this: is that if you're at a school and you're wanting some broadcast experience, you got to come here to the Northwoods League and take this opportunity if it gets presented to you, because you're going to learn so much. For me personally, we didn't have anything at school. I work at a news station at Channel 5 News in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I've got to learn and see and meet a lot of cool people within that, but yeah, there's nothing quite like it. And if you had the opportunity to come here, I would definitely take full advantage of it.
Do this if this is something you want to do. Be invested into it and put your all into it. I didn't know much about baseball coming into here, and I learned so much just being down here and watching every single one of these games. I picked up so much baseball knowledge in 2 weeks than I had learned the past 2 years prior. Put your all into it and don't give up. There's definitely times where I'm just kind of like, geez, this is a lot of stuff, but I push through it, and then once it's all said and done, I look back at it and I'm like, I'm pretty proud of myself. So, and that's one thing that's cool too, is, I'm 1,200 miles away from the closest family member and friend, and I was talking to my parents today, and they were telling me how proud they were of me and seeing all the cool stuff I get to do, and I'm not seeing, any of my friends back at school doing as cool the stuff that I get to do. So it's cool to do it and then just see other people recognize it and hear about how they see me enjoying my time here without me directly telling them I'm enjoying my time.